Hey everyone, Gil here at Camppatton Family Compound. Today is going to be a new learning experience. Going to be using some equipment here that I've never used here before, and some other stuff, new equipment I have used here. But give you a quick update here what's been going on. Today's Friday. Tuesday the rain came in. Wednesday it was pouring like a, well, yeah, it was raining cats and dogs, the saying going. Anyways, I was really worried that it would have damaged the stuff I have out here, but we're going to take a quick look at it before we get to the other stuff. So, the Grand Rapids lettuce is doing great. The romaine's doing great. Didn't kill any of it. The beets, the Detroit red beets are doing great. Go over here and look at the spinach. Spinach is doing okay. It didn't stifle it at all. The stuff that's in the little pots and containers are doing great. So these right here are now ready to plant. So we'll be planting this batch and that batch over there this afternoon. Corn's doing great. All the cantaloupe, cucumbers, and whatnot here are doing great. So after a day and a half of hard rains, the stuff here is doing great. It's just drying out enough where I can get out there and actually do some work out here. So what I experimented with this morning was I used an electric rototiller, cultivator, whatever you want to call it, out here, and I planted some pinto beans using my Chapin seeder. So I'm going to have to make several more passes out here, and I'm going to let you see me doing that. This is the rototiller, rotovator, cultivator, whatever you want to call it, that I've had this for, 12 years, something like 12 years. I've used it a lot in California there, and it's been sitting for about 5 years, not using it at all. So gonna go out there and get it going. So prepare to watch it, and let's get set up here. One more quick thing. The way the spacing on the front tines of the rotovator there are, it leaves a gap like that between the two sets of tines of the rototill. So basically I go that way, then I come back, offset it half, and come back up how it does on that. So I got to go down and back for each one. So let's get at it here, and we'll do a little high speed. Alright, so that's a lot more work than it looks. Especially up at this end here, where I only made one partial pass with the Bobcat rotavator on it. But then after I had rotavated all this with the Bobcat, I'd taken the N9 with the drag harrow up there to level it all off, and then I drove over it again with the Coyote with the landscape rake, turned around backwards to really smooth it out. And some of the areas got a little more compacted than I would have liked. Really want to get a track loader out here, and then weld on some attachments on the back, where hooks and stuff, where I can pull this stuff around and do it and spread the weight of the machine out. Anyways, so I got 3 rows there. I'm going to rake it out smooth with the rake, and then I'm going to use the Chapin to seed the pintos. So let's continue on. Alright, so got it raked out, and I'm going to use the Chapin seeder to get it seeded. Let me square this up just a little. That was so much easier than going around digging a hole, planting a seed, dig a hole, plant a seed, dig a hole, plant a seed. So much easier. And for 90 some odd dollars, that thing works great. It comes with 6 discs for different sizes. In fact, that's what I used when I did all the corn out there. So definitely a back saver and a time saver. All right, so now I got to do some long rows out here, and I'm going to switch up to navy beans and great northern beans. So I'm not going to bore you with all that, because you saw exactly what I did here. I'm going to be doing the exact same thing. So I'm going to go ahead and get at it and let you get back to whatever you're doing. But before I go, a couple points. One, if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, click that little red button down there. It'll turn gray, and a little bell will pop up next to it. Click on that bell, and you can choose all or none or personal. You got 3 choices. If you choose all, it means you'll get a email notification whenever I post, and only when I post another video. You won't get any ads or any other crud like that. Also, if you have a garden, great, expand it. If you don't have a garden, start one. And you say, well, all I got is grass in the front yard, grass in the backyard. Well, so did we years ago, at our California home. My wife went and had me tear out all the grass. We planted fruit trees, citrus trees, and she has several raised planter beds. In fact, I'm going to leave a link up here to the video on what my wife did to our front yard, and she turned it into a nice high producing garden. All right, and all the neighbors love it. All right, no one was detracting, saying, oh, what'd you do that for? They're all like, great, always giving us sign of approval for doing that to our front yard. So you can do a gardening. If you live, say I live in an apartment, hey, there are plenty of indoor gardening solutions out there. There's a lot of, you can do a wall garden on one wall using either pre-made stuff for it, or if you got any little bit of a handyman, put up your own shelves and put up pots on it. There's a lot of different ways you can do it to garden indoors. So until next time, stay happy, stay safe, stay prepared, and I'll see you in the next video. Alrighty?